We thought prayer was private, something whispered upward, something hidden behind closed eyes. But what if prayer was never meant to leave the room? What if prayer was the original language between us? Before survival taught us silence, before ego taught us performance, before fear taught us to edit truth, prayer was just honesty, without armor. I'm hurting, I don't understand, I need you, I don't know how to say this. That's prayer. We turned prayer into religion, but it was always communication. Because currents don't flow upward, they flow through, and humans are the wires. When you speak truth to someone, you're not just venting, you're moving energy through the system. When you hide truth, you're not protecting anyone, you're blocking circulation. That's why silence feels heavy. Not because nothing is happening, but because everything is stuck. We keep asking God to fix the world while refusing to speak honestly to each other. We say, God, heal my relationships, but we don't tell people how we actually feel. We say, God, change the system, but we don't tell the system what's broken. Prayer was never meant to bypass humans. Prayer was meant to move through humans. You're not talking to God instead of people. You are talking to God by talking to people openly, genuinely, without manipulation, without performance, without spiritual filters. That's why real conversations feel holy. That's why honest arguments feel cleansing. That's why vulnerability feels like light. Because prayer is not softness. Prayer is transparency. It's the courage to let your inner weather be seen. We think peace comes from agreement, but peace comes from circulation. Nothing dies because it moves too much. Things die because they stop moving. Prayer is movement. So imagine a world where people prayed to each other, not with folded hands, but with open mouths, not with perfect words, but with real ones, not with sermons, but with truth. A world where saying, I'm scared, is not weakness. Where saying I was wrong is not humiliation. Where saying I need help is not failure. That would be the real spiritual revolution. Not more churches, not more manifesting, not more positivity, but more honesty. Because when we pray to each other, God stops feeling distant. Not because God moved closer, but because the current finally opened, and suddenly we realized something terrifying and beautiful. We were never waiting on God. We were waiting on each other to speak.